All right, y'all, we are back right here on the Ron Todd Show. For those of you guys who are just tuning in, we were just getting through a little table talk with the guys here, just finding out what's going on in their world. But now it's time to talk about what's going on in the world. Of course, we understand that Supreme Court Justice Scalia is pronounced, suddenly died in his Texas ranch a week ago yesterday. We talked about that last week, you guys. His body was laid repose Friday in the hall of the Supreme Court on Friday. President Obama and First Lady Obama were at the viewing. However, they did not make the funeral on yesterday. Justice Scalia, his funeral was yesterday. The National Shrine, Washington, D.C. Temple is where it was at, the nation's largest Catholic church. The service was presided and eulogized by his son, the son of Justice Scalia, who is a Catholic priest. Vice President Biden was in attendance, and President Obama chose not to attend. I wonder why. Okay. Also, GOP Congress said no matter who President Obama selects to replace Justice Scalia's position, they will not confirm anyone to hold the president hostage until after election, so that a Republican president can choose a justice in their favor.
A Republican president.
So I guess they think that they're going to get a Republican president.
That's what they thinking.
That's what they think.
Really?
Wishful thinking.
There you go. Wishful thinking.
You know, why? Well, we know why.
Yeah.
But they make everything difficult for President Obama. Where they want to say that, you know, that he's the president and able to make decisions, but he doesn't have the power to make this decision.
And, you know, that's why I'd say people really should be careful about when they judge or make accusations about the president, because there's so many parameters that he has to follow in order to pass a bill and things like that. That's why people really need to study and know about history, because the president just can't say, okay, I want to pass this law. I mean, there's a Congress, there's things that he has and people that he has to go through. And in this position, we have a Congress that's full of Republicans.
It's true.
So a lot of things that he wants to pass, they like veto, and they're like, yeah, no. They're not even trying to give him a chance, like whatsoever. So I really pray for our president. Seriously.
Oh yeah. Said, you know, they set him up for failure.
You know, that's it's a shame, but that's exactly what they try to do with him, and you know, it's a travesty, especially someone who, I mean, other than Clinton, I mean, I think he's one of the most popular presidents we've had.
Mm-hmm. Listen, he was one of the most liberal presidents that we got. I mean, President Clinton was like the underground first black president.
Yeah,
right. Because he was power to the people.
That
right.
boy had some soul.
You hear me? He was at home eating greens in college, because
playing the saxophone.
Right, playing the saxophone,
dipping his cornbread in some greens, because dipping it in the juice.
In the juice.
Because he really looked out for the minorities. He really did.
Yeah,
and my thing is, and this is just my personal opinion, I talked about it last week, you know, Secretary Clinton she's the best equipped for the job, because this isn't a new world for her.
Right.
She's been around for a very long time. She's very smart.
Right.
Somebody said, well, she's a woman and she's emotional. Guess what? We have an emotional president now. He's emotional too.
And then plus it's emotional times.
It's an emotional time. You see what I'm saying? So it's not that she's going to move on emotion. She's very strong. She'll have President Clinton there with her as the first gentleman, which would be different. As the
that
first,
would.
Yeah,
I would like to see that.
That would be nice. You know, I wonder if he'll do a Let's Move campaign with children.
Let's move.
I wonder if he'll go to libraries and read little Mother Goose stories.
Hey, there's no telling what Bill.
Right.
I know. He'd probably be on the Late Show and stuff with Jimmy Fallon and stuff with the sax.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, he better stay out. He better stay close to the Oval.
Well.
All right. So they found out that in Nevada, the Republicans have registered in caucus as a Democrat so that they can pick the weaker candidate to win, which is supposed to be Bernie Sanders. And then this week, those same Republicans will vote for their Republican choice so that they can win. However, Hillary Clinton won anyway against Bernie Sanders in spite of the GOP scam.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, I'm just, no matter what people try to do, and I'm not necessarily saying that you know, God has it in the cards for Hillary to be the next president of the United States. But people you saw something you said earlier. People have to be careful about the cards they try to play on other people.
That's true.
Because when when they try to plot and scheme to get their way. I mean, we all understand this because of who we are.
Right.
That God's way is still going to happen anyway.
Absolutely.
No matter what man tries to do, God still has final say so. So they can plot and scheme and trick and all that type of stuff. But in the end, they're still going to end up with egg on their face because everything they tried to do didn't work.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Well, moving along, police officers in every city, including Detroit, have denied to secure Beyonce's Formation tour due to her performance at this year's 50th Super Bowl in San Francisco.
They've denied it.
Yes. Louis Farrakhan has pledged today at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit that he will provide the security. Now, let me just say something. This is out of control. This whole thing with Beyonce and them being upset with her taking a stand. Listen, my thing of it is, with someone as who has this much power and this much influence, why not take a stand? And I'm trying to figure out, why are people so surprised? Beyonce, yes, she's black. Get over it. And yes, she's standing up for her people. But my thing is, officers, chief of police, knock knock. Sir, ma'am, your job is to protect the people.
It's true.
You so concerned about an artist, and let's be clear here. Her stadiums are sold out. People have created GoFundMe accounts to go to this concert. All right. So
shame.
Trust me when I tell you, she can afford security. That's not the point. The point of it is, your job as police is to secure the people.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to say that you're not going to secure somebody's concert full of people? Are
Right.
you for real?
Right. So you're just gonna let some let some stuff just go get out of control, huh?
And not only that, they're like, well, she was saying, hands up, don't shoot. Please stop shooting us in her video, and a police car going down in the water. But guess what? What you're doing is you're proving her right, which is that police don't care nothing about the people.
Black people.
All right.
This ain't black people.
I mean,
Black Lives Matter.
Black lives do matter.
we're going to move on. Sadly, there was a shooting spree that happened last night in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh, man.
When a Caucasian man drove to randomly shoot and kill people. He took his shooting spree to a park, then a car dealership, and killed a father and son who was car shopping, and then shot up the parking lot of a Cracker Barrel, killing 5, including a 14-year-old girl, and injuring over 10 individuals. The man was arrested by police 6 hours later. He says no motives for shooting at the time, and he is well known in the community.
Ooh.
Jesus, we just gotta pray, y'all.
Gotta pray.
You never know what's going on.
For real. Gotta pray just to make it today.
That's right.
Just to make it today.
All right, MC Hammer.
That's it, though. That's it. I don't want to get too much into this because I don't know what Shantae has for us today, but I do want to say yesterday at the Stellar Awards, President candidate Hillary Clinton spoke at the pre-show at the Stellars. Also, Detroit's own Bishop Charles H. Ellis III of Greater Grace Temple and the presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, PAW, gave the invocation prayer at the Stellars Award. I'm going to move really quickly. Due to the South Carolina primary presidential candidates, Jeb Bush drops out and suspends his campaign in spite of unsuccessful efforts of campaigning last week with former President George W. Bush and his mother, Barbara Bush. So goodbye.
No.
It's sad when your mom and daddy can't help you.
Ain't it sad?
It's sad.
I mean,
That just shows you how bad his brother screwed up. Man.
Hey.
jeez.
Your family legacy can only take you so far.
That's right.
Well, that legacy is over.
Yeah.
Put a fork in it. It's done.
Done. Never.